Hey, Matthew here, psychologist in Ottawa. So, with trauma, there is, often the initial reaction, the initial efforts at coping, and efforts to kind of work through or move through the trauma. And oftentimes people are successful, with being able to talk out, talk through, figure out how the trauma fits in their life, and eventually move on from it. But then sometimes we get these gentle or not so gentle reminders that brings things back to the surface for us. One of those reminders, some people call the anniversary effect. I like to call it the sadiversary, but it's linked in time to a specific event that was very distressing for you. So, sometimes it is actually a specific date on this date last year, 5 years ago, 8 years ago, 20 years ago. X happened to me and it changed my life. Sometimes it's kind of like a time period, whether it's a season or, like going into the holidays for some people. That can be a sadiversary time when they remember past events that were very disturbing and really upset them. We can't get away from the sadiversary, and it doesn't mean you haven't done your work either if you're having an anniversary reaction. But what we can do is try to prepare for them. It's important to think about, there are really two calendars. There's the calendar that marks time, and then there's our own internal calendar that marks our emotions. And so it is wise to be prepared or to think about, what times of year sometimes are harder for me than others, because that then gives you a little bit more agency and a little bit more power to start preparing for it. So preparing might mean talking about it with people and continuing to process, how your understanding of these events have changed, or sharing memories with other people, especially if the trauma is around like grief and loss, being able to talk with other people who have shared the same kind of loss. It will help you feel less alone, and it will keep you from just sitting with the jumble up here, which often doesn't end very well for most of us. Also, things to do is thinking about really, how am I going to look after myself? Like, what are the things that are good for me that I need to be doing? So I always think about the holy trinity of diet, exercise, and rest, that there might be times of year that you really need to double down on that stuff. You know what, I'm going to eat a lot of vegetables. Probably not going to drink so much at this time. But things that are going to, support your body and support your well-being so that you can continue to keep moving on in your life. Whether or not you want to express yourself out loud to others, this is also where like journaling or meditation might be helpful, or also getting back into or going to therapy. These are private places where you can kind of get all the stuff out. And, you can see how you've changed and grown. Some of the changes are not all bad. Oftentimes, traumatic experience, once we work it through, can help us feel stronger or help us grow in different ways that we wouldn't have anticipated, that we can be proud of. So if you were someone who is going into a sadiversary time as we head closer and closer to December, please do take good care of yourself this time of year. I'm going to go be with some hearts that beat. Look after yourselves and each other today. Ciao.